All right, let me tell you a story about this hole right here. Okay, so I had forgotten. This is the one that's actually off the original off the truck. It's actually ended up being the best passenger side that I had. And I had already, there's a video out there, and I'll probably put a link somewhere here about the video about making this patch panel, because I bought a patch panel and I built patch panels. And this is the one that I built patch panels on. Well, when I built it, that hole wasn't there. Well, what I'd forgotten is that the body bolt that mounts down here underneath it, it was rusted up in the hole and the head broke off when I was taking the truck apart. Well, me and the son, we decided we were going to drill that out, retap it, and I got a little bit rambunctious with the drill bit. On the third size drilling, we were about to start tapping. I'm going, and I wasn't even thinking about the end of that bolt, just being there by the threads. I was just thinking I was just going to be going through, I didn't think anything about it. And I didn't even have a lot of pressure on it. And I had really good cut and drill bit right through the fender. So I'm going to have to daub that up. And the reason I say daub it up is because there's no reason for me to use anything in there, coat hanger or whatever you've seen online. I'm a good enough welder. I can daub that hole up, and because these pieces I made, there's a patch panel here, there's a patch panel here, and there's a patch panel right down here. Now I made all three of those pieces of thicker grade material. So these are a heavy gauge on the bottom side because I didn't want to do it again. I want to do it once, and I bent them all myself, and hammered them in, hammer tack, did it all in on myself, and they turned out pretty good. I mean, they're not that. I mean, they're maybe a hair. They're a hair under the original. This is the original body, and this is the patch. But I bent it myself, got it in the right curvature, cut it, welded it, tacked it, but there's plenty of material there to daub it in. Now, the trick to daubing is if you're laying flat, it doesn't really matter which way you go. But if you're going downhill like I'm doing, you daub from the top down. And you're just zip, 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 zip. As you can see, I've already got this one done somewhat. Here, I'll bring you into it and show it to you. And all I've done was just start at the top and just zip, 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 zip. And this has got enough penetration that once I get this done and I take the grinder to it, it'll be thicker than this because it's getting enough in there. Excuse me. But that's like, I'm just going to go, like using this porter, I'm just going to go zip, 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 just so it's filled up. Because it's going to be tall, because you're just tacking, but it'll be tall enough to fill that in. But you don't have to cut a hole. You can just zip this up. Like I've said all along, this is just my personal driving around every day, daily driver. I want to get on the road. So I ain't worried about a concourse redo. This is what you can do at home to get it on the road, make it look really good for a little to nothing. Okay. But that's what this is all about. This is me. You guys are going to blow my thing up about how I'm doing it. I don't care. This is how I do it. It works. It's easy. It's cheap. I didn't pay $185 for a panel plus $100 shipping. I just didn't. Oh, and by the way, auto darkening hood is the way to go. Like I said, I'm just working side to side. Just a little zinc, zinc, zinc. Is that a cool? Oop. All right, that one's stuck. All right. All right. See how nice that's coming in? Works great. Done. Done. Now we'll take grinder to it. And if we need to, we'll just do a little daub, little daub. We'll spin it over once we get this done. We'll throw a little paint on the back of it so it won't rust because I got everything else coated on the inside. And we're done. That's all there is to it. Okay, ground down. No holes. She's got a little splatter on there. That'll take that off. But the great thing about, I don't know if you guys realize, the great thing about metal, when you weld it from one side, it likes to draw. Okay, so it draws towards itself like this, right? Which, since we're going to be bondoing, it automatically gives itself a little bit of a divot. So it's just a hair lower than the panel itself, which is perfect because we're just going to bondo over it. But yeah, that's all. Okay, it's the next day, and I did a little work on this one, and I got most of the big things knocked out. I got this one. She's still a little rough, but she was really dented bad. All the way back into here, there's a line, an indenture where it just dipped right here because of whatever it hit, it took right here. I got this line pretty much 99% straight. I've got a little work to do, a little hammer and dolly work left to do, massage this a little bit to get that out. But the biggest problem was this. If you can see this was 3/8 of an inch deep, crunch. This was 1/4 of an inch deep, crunch. So it took a hit here, wonk, and this was all crunched. So I got this one pushed out from the back. There's access here where I got it pushed out, work from the back. Now what I had to do is I had to drill this hole to get to that crease right here on this corner because I couldn't get to it from these spots. I couldn't reach it. So I actually had to drill a hole. Now, if you know anything about these trucks, this is going to be covered up. This is where it bolts up to the radiator support, and this will never be seen again. So, but I had to drill an access hole to get that worked out. And the reason this is in primer now is because this thing has got about 7 layers of paint on it. It's got metal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish layers of paint on it, including stripes that got painted over. Lord knows why. But this is what that side looked like once I started DAing. And you tell me if you can tell a high-low spot with all this business going on. So that's why I got it by feel about as close as I could. And I threw some primer on it so that I can DA it again and start blocking and find out where my high and low spots are for one color to one color instead of coat multi-colors trying to figure out what's high and low. So, but the other thing about having 7 coats of paint on it is that minor scratches are going to like disappear effortlessly because it's got 7 coats of paint on it. So, but I still have to DA all these pinstriping off. But now this line is good. All right, so we're gonna get back to it. So this one has cured for a day. So let's get back on this and let's get this slicked out. I'll show you how to. I should have all the high and low spots filled out with this one. Okay, and we're just gonna start with a nice 80 grit on the DA, and we're gonna knock this down and see if I miss any low spots or not. All right, see how that's coming through? And this is filling all the low spots. I got Weld showing here, it's filled in. It feels smooth to the touch. I got a little spot here I need to work. I got little spots in here I need to work, but it's basically just filling in all the spots. And I got to work this little transition right here in the center a little bit, and right here on the end, but all the little spots are being filled. So this is pretty good. This right here I need to work some more, and then I need to work the transition, make it look smooth, a nice smooth transition right here. So this is going to be right here is what I'm going to pay attention to the most, and then we're just going to feather it in. Okay, I have DA'd it down, blown it off, wiped it off. Okay, so now we're done with the DA. It's put up. Air compressors are off. Now I'm going to put a coat of primer on this, and what I'm going to use, I'm going to use primer sealer because I got metal, open metal, you know, bare metal showing. I'm just going to use a seamer for the first coat. It's just going to be just a coverage, just to smooth it out, and this will show me the little small spots that now I have to deal with. And there's going to be a lot of them. Don't think that just because you DA'd it down, that's going to be perfect. It's not. You're going to find more blemishes. So here we go. And I'm not making a pretty paint job. I am just covering this. And I know you guys are going to blow my deal. You're doing it wrong, blah, blah. No, this is all going to get just ground down, ground off. This is just filler. This is just a little coat just to fill in the spots, to find my little low and high spots. This is guide coat. See, and I'm already seeing spots. I'm already seeing high and low spots, pinholes, small scratches that the DA didn't get. And that's what this is all about. This light color contrasted with lights on both sides will help you catch the spots. And that's all. All we did was hit the big spots. Now we go down to the smaller spots, the highs, the lows, the bits, the pieces. This is when the real meticulous stuff starts going on. All right, do I have any low spots? Okay, we'll do a little bit here. And see, like that dent right here, that's almost about gone. I got a little spot, a little line where the filler didn't quite fill in. That'll get fixed. And then I got a couple little spots right here that I couldn't see until I sprayed it very well. And that's all we're doing. We know we got to work here. So let's throw a little extra on here. Where's our trouble spots? Dent, low spots, dent, low spot. Put a little extra in. We got just a little hair left of this can. Oh, I got a spot right here where this filler didn't get it. We'll just add a little bit in extra there just in case. If I mix up a batch of putty, which I will be mixing up batch putty for the other fender, we might have a couple of small spots like right here and right here to fill in now. But 90% of this work is done. 90% of it's done. And this area right here looks great. Like I said, I just got a couple little spots to slick out. And she's going to look like brand new. All right, so it's drying. We're going to turn everything off, shut everything off, let this harden for overnight and leave this alone. I'm not going to do any more grinding. I'm not going to do any more work in the shop tonight. I'm going to leave this alone right here. So, but that's how it works. You know, you DA it down, find your bad spots, beat them out, hammer them out, smooth them out, and then DA everything down, and then hit it with some guys use filler, some primer, some guys use build-up primer, I either like to use a Sealy primer or an etching primer if I got metal showing. It just seems to work better. But then I've got a can of filler primer ready to go for when we start block sanding this. But we're going to let this alone, and we're going to leave it be for 24 hours. In the shop, shut up. No dust, no air movement, just leave it alone.